G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bears Shed. Well, looks like I'm camping today, doesn't it? Got the caravan in the background and I'm under the annex under here and yeah, it's just we're doing a few repairs. So we have people camping in the paddock from time to time. They come and spend a few days with us, and we got a nice dam to camp near, and we do a bit of a cook up and camp oven cooking and things like that. We have a great time and have a couple of Bundy rums and a couple of beers, and yeah, we really enjoy ourselves. But we had one fella staying at the shed, or staying in the paddock, and he didn't have any camping gear much, so we lent him the caravan and we said, oh well, yeah, stay in there, that's nice and handy. And it's got a shower and a toilet and microwave and fridge and stove and aircon and all sorts of junk you probably don't need. But anyway, we got it. And we had a storm, and well, didn't it piss down rain? It just poured, and this is getting back away now. It's taken me a long time to fix this. and the fellow, he was standing outside in the rain, or under the annex here in the rain, and because the annex was fairly flat, the water pooled in the top, in the canvas piece, and it actually come down. He's a big bloke, and it come down, and he didn't really realise what was happening until it hit him in the head. You know, it touched the top of his head, and he thought, oh shit. And before he could do anything, well, the weight of the water pulled the rail. There's a sail track on top of the right up in the joint up in the top there, where the canvas meets the caravan. Well, it pulled half of that out of the caravan with the weight of the water, and broke the sail track and broke a bracket, one of the main top. There's a bracket right up the top near the pivot. It broke one of them, and yes. So anyway, we've had it on the to-do list for some time, and we thought, well, over our Christmas break we might try and go away, and we've got a couple of things on the go that we might like the caravan for. So yesterday was a fix the caravan day, so we pulled all the railing off and put new stuff on, re-drilled and Sikaflex. We use Sikaflex. It's really sticky stuff for waterproofing and that. We put that on and went and bought some new brackets and did a few other things, and so the caravan's looking pretty good again. We do have to give it a bit of a clean up, because as they sit they get a bit dusty and that. And another problem which I didn't know about was the toilet wasn't flushing, and they have a little 12-volt pump. It's a submersed pump, and it sits in the bottom of the tank of the toilet, and they give you some pink stuff to put in your water, and that helps it clean the toilet and sanitizes and all that. But if your caravan sits for some time unused, your pump can jam. And so another problem I had to fix was the flush pump on the toilet. And anyway, I worked out that the pump was stuck, and I found out how to get there. The operator's book is, well, it tells you how to sit on it and how to press the button, and that's about the limit. And so we had to pull the control panel out, and there was little circuit boards in there, and I thought, oh gee, I bet some water's got into one of those. But as it turns out, it was just the pump jammed. So we've pulled all the pump apart and got that going, and I've rewired it now so that if the pump ever jams again, I can just pop it out on a couple of crimp fittings. I can pop it out, test it quickly. Yesterday I tested it on the rider mower battery, and freed him up well from there. So yeah, that's why the caravan's here at the moment. And before it goes anywhere, we did a couple of little trips with it, and I checked the wheel bearings. I'll jack it up and I'll do the bearings again, just check them. And it's a great thing. We're with our hobby collecting vintage engines and tractors and things. The back of this Jayco work and play, it drops down like a horse float, and up the back there, I can't actually drop it down at the moment. There's not enough room in the shed to do that, but it drops down like a horse float, and I can run engines up in there, and I can put 600 kilos of engines up in the back. And then once I pull the engines out again, there's 2 beds, and the beds fold down out of the walls, and your dining table goes back in, and it's got a rubber floor on the back section there, but up the front it's quite nice. But so anyway, we're getting it all tidied up and ready for a bit of a summer season, so we'll see how we go with that. And another thing I did through the week is I bought another tractor. Now, you've got to have a few tractors in your life, haven't you? Yeah. So the neighbour had this one, and he'd been trying to sell it for some time, and I'd offered him a price a few times, and he wouldn't come at it, so I didn't go forward with it. And anyway, the other day he come in with a better price, and I got it for way cheaper than the first offer. So I'll have to go and pick that up today. It's a Farmall AMD or AM7D, which is an Australian-made Farmall. They're made in Geelong. It's got the diesel engine in it. He hasn't had it long. He bought it to resell and make some profit on. But I went over and started it for him because he wasn't sure how. And so I got it started and run it and all that for him a while ago. And so perhaps today we'll go and grab that. It's only next door, so we'll probably just get it going and sneak it around the road, and we'll have it home in no time. And yeah, it's probably not another project so much. It needs tidying up. It's got an old car seat on it, and it's just a bit rough around the edges. And with a bit of a tidy up, we can make it look a lot more presentable at least. And another reason for the purchase, apart from having another toy, is we have trouble with starter motors for those. In America, the Farmalls have a 2 or 3 bolt Delco Remy starter, and the ones in Australia, because of our Pommy heritage, our English background here in Australia, the Australian tractors used Lucas electrics, and they have it's a Perkins mount, but it's a Lucas mount, I suppose would be more to the point. It's a 3 bolt mount, and because the starter motor comes from the steering wheel side of the flywheel, not the engine block side of the flywheel, you have to have a counterclockwise rotation starter motor. So I've got a couple of starter motors, and I've actually offered them to people. I've rang up and rang the business and said, I need a starter motor for my tractor, and I say, well, I've got this gear reduction one. And the gear reduction are the modern type ones, and probably they're not the best looking one to have on a tractor that you're taking to shows and you're displaying as a piece of antique machinery. But if you just want to hop on and do a bit of stuff around the paddock, they're great. But anyway, I've got one here. I couldn't get anyone to take it. I offered it to people. I said, look, buy it. If it doesn't fit, I'm very happy to take it back, but I need someone to do a test and tune for me and tell me how it all goes. But I couldn't get any takers, even if we paid the freight and everything. So anyway, so I bought a tractor, and I'll do that myself now. And it's got some hydraulics, maybe have some hydraulic issues. Someone's put some external hydraulic rams on the back of it, which this model, under the seat there's a big heavy casting, and under that it should have a hydraulic shaft with some arms on it coming out the back, and it should have a hydraulic piston. And this one, for some reason, has 2 external rams on the arms. So all we can presume there is that the internal workings of the hydraulics have failed for some reason. So I've never had one of those apart, so I'll do that. I'm quite interested to have a go at that as well. So anyway, stay tuned. Well, when we go and get the tractor, we might take a little bit of video of it just getting it going again, because it hadn't started for some time. We have to take a battery and a few things like that, but the glow plugs were working last time, so yeah, we'll see if tyres need pumping up and things like that. I haven't had to look at it, I just bought it. I saw it a while ago, so it was cheap enough, so I thought, oh well, it looked alright then, and I started it and it ran okay, so I thought, well, that'll do. And so yeah, I haven't gone for a nitpick walk around it. I just paid it to help him out, really. And part of the deal was that I gave him an engine kit for a Fergie, so which that sort of helped me helped me make up my mind to buy it at least, because we get engine kits at the right price. So, but anyway, we'll see. We'll go and get that. We'll might do a little bit of machining yet. I'm yet to decide. On the awning up the top here, where the awning unwinds, there's a drum that the canvas unwinds off, and it's got a slot in it. And I've seen some little plastic brackets that slide into the slot. Then you can put a D-shackle in them, and you can hook a piece of shade cloth or another tarp to it or something like that, just to give you a bit more shade in the afternoon. And I saw the plastic ones, and I'm never fussed on much in plastic, and so I could just chuck a little bit of aluminium flat bar in the mill and machine up a couple of little flat ones, and they can slide the full length, so it doesn't matter where the hole spacing is on a piece of shade cloth or a piece of tarp or something like that. You can slide these little brackets across to suit your hole spacings on whatever you'd like to put on it. And you could even hang a clothesline on it. You could just do whatever you like. So I'll probably have a crack at that today. I was thinking it's going to be very hot in town here today, so a bit of shed work will be okay. We'll get all the outside stuff done early, and then. But anyway, look, stay tuned. We'll see what we can come up with, and yeah, just follow along. I'll try and keep you informed. Well, here it is. I went next door and picked up this tractor I'd bought. It's an AM7D, which means it's a diesel engine. The A means it's made in Australia. So, yeah, they're very straight, like the panels are quite straight. There's a little bit on the grill there that needs sorting out, but that's nothing really. But, yeah, tyres have got fair tread, but they've been chopped around a lot. The seat needs to come off. You can see the different colour on the cylinder head. So the cylinder head's been done at some stage, I believe. All the hydraulics are looking pretty messy. It's got the two narrow front wheels at the front, and the diesel pump has been done up at some stage. So that's a bonus as well. That's the starter motor and the battery box, and it started very easily. They had a little car battery in it, so if you can start a big diesel with a car battery, the engine can't be too bad probably. Yeah, she's a bit of a pressure clean. I might get to that tomorrow. We'll just see what the day brings. It has a bad axle leak, and if you look at the gap there between the axle seal and the wheel, and the gap on this side is correct. So what looks like it has happened is this wheel has come loose, and it's come in and it's worn the outer edge off that seal holder. But anyway, we know where to find one of those, that's no trouble. And it's got a aftermarket rear hitch on it. Well, the arms are okay. There's the arms that come out of the top, and under that top cover, which is under the battery box and that, there should be a hydraulic ram. And why it's not working, we don't know. And that's why these cylinders are on it. But when we look at those two fittings there, that's where the hydraulic should be plumbed into. So what we might do is undo one of these plugs, and we'll just test it with a little bit of air to see if we can get them to lift and lower. Where they've put this contraption on there, they've got copper pipes on hydraulic fittings, which is never good. And yeah, it's a bit of a wild setup, but we'll sort that out, and we'll just see what has to be done. They've cut the main steering column and extended it just to pick the steering column up so this old car seat could go on it. So one of the first things to happen is will be that seat disappears, and we'll give it a good bath. All the grease nipples have grease on them, so they have been servicing it. So anyway, that's our new toy. That's tractor number probably 11.
Oh, we'll see. Who's counting? Yeah. Well, I've started making the little alloy brackets for the side of the annex on the Caravan. And the idea is, this is a piece of aluminium I found in the scrap. It's, well, it looks to be about 40mm by 10mm, something like that, but that'll do for what we're doing. And I've just set him up in the mill. Just trammed the vise. I had to pop the vise back on, it hadn't been on for a while. Then this little bit of alloy here, it's out of the scrap, so I don't know how accurate it was going to be, but it's come up pretty good. I'll run him through. I think you can, hopefully you can see the dial clearly. Anyway, we'll have a go at that and see what we got. Well, that's not too bad. That's at maximum it's 1,000, and yeah, each segment's half 1,000. So at the maximum we have 1,000 run out across that. So that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. The whole piece is 7 inches long, which in miles an hour, or in kilometres an hour, is, oh, what are we looking at? Just under 178mm, or 180. So what the plan is now is, because it has to go into a circle, I'd like to knock these square corners off the edge here. And what I've chosen to do, I've seen people do this, but I've never done it myself. So I've got a little router bit, and because it's just aluminium, I'm going to try and run that down and take the edge off. I think it'll work. I've never done this before, so we'll hop in and have a bit of a crack at it and just see what sort of mess we can make. Now there's a little ball bearing on the bottom, so we have to work out when that touches the aluminium. So we're just using a little bit of paper. Once we can feel the paper drag, we know we're 4 thou away from it. There we are, there's just touching there. So we'll zero out the DRO. We'll bring it up. We'll put it on thou. We'll bring it up 4 thou. You can just feel that drag. So yeah, that's a good thing. We'll try and set the camera up, do a little bit of a run. We'll work out how far up and down we have to do it, you know, to get the desired the desired result, and yeah, we'll go from there. We'll try and get the camera out of the way, but where it can still see, because I imagine she's going to flick a fair bit of aluminium out. Well, we've lowered the tool in. We'll just see if we can focus on what we're doing with it. Well, I got a little bit done, and then I had to stop it because the light shield on the camera was just touching on the mill and putting it out of focus. So we'll have a go again. We'll try a little bit of auto feed and see, but it seems to be cutting very well. It's yeah, it's got not a bad little radius there, which will help us with what we're doing. We're using a little bit of WD-40, seeing it's aluminium, or it's CBC 500 in Australia that I use, but similar product. So we'll just get it going and see if we can do a full run. This is on auto feed. Knock the feed off. Now that's putting a nice smooth edge on there for us, which is what we like, but I think we're still a little bit fat. I wouldn't mind taking that down thinner altogether, so I might take the bearing off and yeah, see if I can just take it back a little bit more. I don't have any other curved tools that I've cut or anything like that to get the job done, but yeah, we might just take this little fella off. We'll just see what we got. I really need to get the light behind here somewhere, I think, don't I? But I've taken the ball bearing off. I've lowered this tool slightly, and to get a better cut I really need to pull a little bit off this edge. We're just a little bit too fat, and I can eyeball it through here where we need to be. And I reckon that there would be about our limit. So we might lock the forward and aft up a little bit. Lock the bed, back him out. Bit of lubricant. Let's have another go. Now that's not a bad finish. A little lip here that I didn't really need, but I must have gone a little bit far there. But that's okay, in our next process we'll probably knock that down again. So I might do a run along the back with this same process, and that should give us a fairly round top. Well, we've brought it forward. This is the exact same height, and we've just brought it forward by eye, and we'll just see how this one goes. We'll start him up. Now that's got a little peak in the top. We're fairly even. Maybe a little deeper on this side here, but that's alright for one of these little jobs. It's just to knock together, so I will run an end mill along the top here. That circle looks about good for us, but we will take this little point off. We'll run an end mill down the top of that, and that should get rid of that little bit. Right, we've just run an end mill along the top, and you can see it's got two round sides now with a flat top, and that'll let it come up higher into the groove that it has to go into on the Caravan annex here. And that's a semicircle, I suppose. And what we plan on doing now is bring this ball nose end mill down. We'll touch him off, then we'll bring him down about 3 millimetres. I'll go and measure the gap actually and work out what it exactly is. Then we'll do a run up there, and that'll give us a little curved top end with a flat on it for going into the Caravan part. So you can probably see it a bit better there. And we'll bring this fella in down there. So anyway, there's no plans for this. We're just making this up as we go. We think, oh well, that might work, we'll have a crack at that. So yeah, we'll see what ends up. I've done a little test run and just started off here just to see how it looked. And look, it's not too bad. I've taken the light from behind to see if you can see the job a little bit better here. So we'll see how it runs. We'll start him up and see if we've got vibration or what we have to do. Clean that up a little bit. Bit of a deburr on that edge and it'll be okay. Alright, now we'll flip him over and do the other side in that same position. Right, this is what it's turned out like, and the idea of it is up on the awning here we have a sail track that goes along through here. So the idea is this just slides in, and you can have that anywhere you like along that sail track. But the next idea that we're going to do with it is cut it and make about half a dozen pieces. Then we'll drill quite large holes in it and we'll put D-shackles in it. So when we're using the Caravan and we'd like to put a rope down there as a stay, or whether we'd like to put a bit of shade there or something like that, we can space these out to suit the particular eyelets on the tarp or whatever, and drop something down to the ground to give us a bit more shade. So anyway, that's what all the fuss was about this afternoon. But anyway, in the morning we'll cut that and we'll drill them, and we'll probably get half a dozen out of that piece. Well, what we're going to do here is, on this plate here, we're going to cut it about every inch or so, and we're just putting holes in so we can put a D-shackle or hook a rope through or something like that if we'd like to hook something to it. So I did the one hole, I forgot to put the camera on, so we'll move up an inch and we'll do another one. There we go, 1 inch. We might even get another one yet, we'll see. Looks like it. Well, what we have to do now is, I'll probably drop it over the bandsaw and I'll just cut down in between these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 we got out of it. And then we'll deburr, and I'll find a couple of little D-shackles that'll fit in there, and in the Caravan we'll actually store them with the D-shackles already in them. So if we need to hook to something, or we choose to do something with them, we're not racing around looking for a D-shackle. So that's all the milling for the moment, but yeah, look at the mess the mill's in. We're going to have to do a bit of tidy up. Well, there you go. There's a few of those little slide-in brackets I made with D-shackles in them, and yeah, when we go camping we can hang them under the annex and you can put all sorts of things on them. Now, I don't know why you hang the old beer cans on them, but anyway, that's just to prove that you can hang something on. You can drop your hat on them. But anyway, that was a great little exercise that I'd been wanting to do for some time, and it looks like it's come out okay. They slide in the rail quite easily, so we can actually put a rope down through here and get a bit of windy weather. We can actually put a rope there, tie down, you know, with a tent peg or something like that. Or anyway, it's just made the annex a little bit more handy. But anyway, that's a nice little job finished. It's something we needed to do, and I suppose I could have went and bought them, but where's the fun in that? I'd just like to say that no beer cans were harmed in making these brackets. Well, maybe a couple. Well, that's it for another week. We're going to call that a wrap. This is probably the last one from under the awning on the Caravan. We've got a lot done to it. We got the toilet pump worked out. The toilet that wouldn't flush, the
the pump was a bit seized, so we fixed that up. The annex, the new mounts on the annex, we've got all that done. The glass on top of the stove had broken, and I think that was my fault. One day I had a I was buggering around with the stove and I left it on, and I think the glass got hot, but it didn't break right away. It broke, you know, months later. So we've got that done, and the Caravan's all serviced up, ready for a bit of fun. So we do need to get it outside and wash it, but the temperature's going to be high 30s outside today in the sun, so I might leave that for a cooler day. Standing on top of a Caravan with a broom in your hand in the roaring Bundaberg sun in summer, not the best thing. But anyway, look, thanks very much for watching. Please like the videos, subscribe, more the merrier, and if you like to comment, I always try and reply to all the comments. But yeah, that's all from me this week. We're going to call that a wrap, and I'll catch you later, eh?